So kids nowadays, do they really feel safe? Are they really prepared for the world?
Mm.
A lot of kids, they don't feel like themselves. A lot of kids, they act one way around their parents, and the moment that they are away from their parents, they act a totally different way. Why? Because their parent or their environment doesn't allow them to genuinely blossom into the person that they really want to be. And they have to put on this facade, they have to cover up who they really are, or pretend to be somebody just to be able to fit in with either their parent or the kids around them.
Mm-hmm.
So, with my personal experience growing up and being a kid and actually going through similar circumstances where,
Yeah.
having a very judgmental, very verbal, abusive parent, um, it kind of like taught me in life, and it prepared me mentally to not be that way, to be able to be the parent that I encourage my kid to be what he wants to be, and I encourage my kid to be the best of whatever he is good at, and to do it the best at his ability. Um, you always empower yours. You never bring them down. You know, this guy right here knows that he got muscles and he's strong and he's handsome and he's gonna be famous and he's a smart kid,
True.
and he know he has to be respectful and he got to be humble. And with that being said, we're gonna go into the next topic, being humble.
Humble.
Humble is, how can we explain it? Humble is being genuine, being appreciative, being being uh, there's no other word to say but appreciative and grateful.
Grateful is
Appreciative and grateful are the two words that really sum up what humble is. Because if you came up from nothing and had nothing your whole life, and now all of a sudden you work and you strive and you got a good career and you make a lot of money, and you forget where you came from and you stop being humble, now you messed up. You always got to remember where you came from, where you started. Doesn't mean you always have to be stuck in that mentality where that you were when you were there, but you have to always remember where you began, because that allows us to be the person that we are today. I didn't always have anything. There wasn't always food. There wasn't always money. Daddy was never around. My mother always worked. We had to go get it. We couldn't get in trouble. I got kicked out of several schools. I got into several stuff. I did a lot of years in jail. All this stuff, if I didn't learn from those experiences and I didn't absorb what I went through in that moment, I would have been stuck in a cycle. You guys get stuck in a cycle because nowadays we idolize and look up to the gangster, the guy that's going to jail, the shooter, the guy with all the money, you know? And no,
true.
we got to turn around and we got to idolize the good dads, the wonderful dads, the hardworking men, the family man, the guy that puts a roof over his head for his kids and is there every single day, or the guy that doesn't have his kids in his life because, whatever his circumstance may be, but he does everything he can to make everything right with his kids and he has a wonderful relationship. So Let's celebrate the men that are doing what they have to do beyond all the circumstances they're dealt with, and stop idolizing little young punks that are out there shooting and think they tough because they got a glizzy, or because they get sturdy and they got the money phone. No, because at the end of the day, those are just misguided young men. Young men that are misguided, misinformed, and they really don't know what they want in life. They don't they have no direction. And when you have no direction, you don't have anything. And if you're a person that doesn't have any direction, and you looking for a way to change and for a way to gain direction and gain a purpose, whatever religion you believe in, if you practice a religion, if you don't, find a higher power. Look for God. Look for whatever God is in your belief core system, and create that connection, because we only live one life and nothing is promised to us. Tomorrow isn't even promised. So we have to give thanks and praise, and we have to have faith in a higher power and the man above, because before us it was him, and before we have the people that we have following us, before there were influencers, or before there were any celebrities or anybody to have any following, or Jesus had a following. God created Jesus in his image so he can have a following. So he's the first influencer. Before any other influence, the real influence. So with that being said, you gotta centralize your mind and believe in a higher power if you want to change your frame of thought, and you need a motive in life, and because that's only gonna set off positive positive um how can I say this, just positive energy, and oh my god, it's just gonna set you off in the right path, the right mentality, the right energy, the energy that you're gonna need to grow. It's like a plant. A plant, you don't put a plant in a dark room. Plant will never grow. Plant won't even live. You can put the most healthy, most beautiful, most everything plant and put it in a dark room and see what that does to it. That plant will die. So when we start thinking about life and everything that we got going on, and we start thinking about stuff, you got to start thinking of, we are creations. We are creations of God. And if God created plants and all organisms on life to thrive off of the energy that he created through the sun, imagine what we're doing if we're sitting in a dark room. Put that thought into perspective, where imagine if you're living in darkness, you're not going to thrive. If you're keeping yourself around negative energy and around dark people, dark in the sense of energy, you're not going to thrive. You're not even going to like the person that you become. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be anxious. But Once you learn to love yourself and you learn to focus and you learn to distinguish the path that you want in life, and you centralize yourself and believe in a higher power, and focus on what God and the purpose that God has put into our life, you will excel. So remove yourself from that dark room, that dark space, and think of yourself like a plant. If you want to grow, if you want to thrive, if you want to be your maximum self and your maximum potential, you have to put yourself in the light. Let yourself be in the light. And I'm alive. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So back to what I was saying. Um, you have to put yourself in the light. Set yourself up for greatness. Don't set yourself up for failure. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself like no one can believe in you. Because if you believe in you, that's all that really matters. Because the power that our brain has, and the power of manifestation, and the belief system that we were inscripted in us, we have our own power to make stuff reality. And if you yourself and your heart and your soul and your mind and every cell in your body believe that something is going to happen, if you're going to become something, if you're going to do something, guess what? That's all it takes. The power of thought. Once you put that thought into the world and believe it with all your heart, and put it in front of God to to make that dream come reality, and just stay focused, one day you're gonna look back and be like, wow, I'm already here. You're not even gonna notice that it took you a process to get there, because you're gonna be so focused on just doing it that when you sit back and look, God is gonna put you in a position that you're gonna realize one day, like, wow, I'm already here. And and that's the honest truth. That when you start being real with yourself and start being truthful for yourself, that's when the magic happens. There's too many people, there's too many people that lie to themselves. They don't even know who they are, and they want to give advice. They want to mentor people. They want to be a solution in your life, when the equation in their life is all off. There's people that come into your life not 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 only because they want to be you, but they want to take that energy that you bring. And a lot of us carry our energy on our shoulders for the world to see, and a lot of us don't know how to keep that in private. So people don't try to take that away from us. There's, the Bible says that there will be false prophets. There's a lot of false people that come around in your life, pretending to be friends, pretending to be uh support, pretending to be everything that you think you want, not knowing that it's just the devil in disguise, not knowing that it's a lost soul with malicious intentions, that all they want to do is feed off of your energy. They're vampires. They want to suck out all your blood and leave you lifeless. And you will be fooled to think that they're your friend, because they're gonna hear you out. They're gonna listen to you. You're gonna spill all your weakest and most vulnerable thoughts to this person because you think you got somebody that's supporting your vision, but at the end of the day, they just learning all your weakness to turn around and hold it against you. When you become so vulnerable that you put your trust in flesh, when you begin to trust a human, that's where you messed up at. Because as long as you know that you are spiritually connected and you know that God got your back, I don't feel like you should worry about any human. Because the only purpose that we here on life is to do what's right according to the word of God. And nobody's perfect. It even says in the Bible that we're natural born sinners. So that means that from the moment that we were born, that we opened, that we took our first breath, we were born sinners. So that's why we have to repent every single day and ask God for forgiveness and ask God to forgive us for our sins and for everything that we do wrong. Because from the moment that we wake up every day, we wake up sinning. But if you become conscious and you are more connected with God, little by little, He'll change your perception of life and the way that you are. The more and more you become more knowledgeable of the word, the more you know that you're doing something wrong. That's why if you ever, it says in the Bible too, if you learn the word of God, you're gonna be uh don't quote the exact quote, but basically if you know right from wrong, once you know right from wrong and you committing wrong, it's gonna hurt you even more because you know you're doing wrong. It's different from a person that doesn't know right and wrong and is doing something wrong, but he doesn't even know he's doing something wrong. So at the moment that you chose God in your life and you accepted the word and you study and you live by a certain way, you can't be a hypocrite. But we're not perfect because everybody's gonna feel like they're being a hypocrite. But it says that if you go to God, He'll change you. You don't have to change yourself to go to God. You don't have to change yourself in order to become spiritual. People believe that, oh, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna go to church. I'm not gonna believe because I'm doing wrong. No, as long as you know that you're doing wrong and you looking for God, He's gonna change you. The deeper and deeper you go into it, He will change you in your life. And this is not like no religious messaging or no religious podcast or anything. Is that the topic of today was feeling secure in your own skin, how to be happy on a normal day-to-day basis, how to live free from judgment, how to separate yourself from negative energy, and it just takes faith. It takes faith and it takes believing in you. And I can attest to this firsthand because I've had my battles, my ups and downs in life. And until the moment that you really start caring about yourself and you really and you really start being true with yourself, that's when life will change. But the moment when you're in denial and you feel like you have a reason to 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 live the way you're doing and putting excuses or beating around the bush, you're gonna stay in the same circumstances that you are. And it's sad that God puts his toughest warriors through the toughest battles. And God knows that he's put me through a lot of battles and came out victorious. But we all still continue to be warriors that are learning on a day-to-day basis. This pod is gonna be nothing but real, you know. Hence the name, the Real Faded Podcast. I'm RealG, and before we can even start a podcast or start recording other people's story, I feel like I have to reach out and make a connection with my viewers so that way they know who I am as a person, my intentions as a man, my what am I looking to get out of this? Why am I doing this? And the reason I'm recording is because I'm a barber, and through barbering for 20 years, I realized that a lot of us men have a lot of fucked up problems in our head. And a lot of people are scared to talk to people because they're afraid of people going to judge them. And especially in this masculine world that we live in, uh, you don't want to show your weakness to another man. But I feel like that's just a stereotypical, you know, machismo thing, and more of us men should be looking out and talking about what our issues are and what problems we have on a day-to-day basis, or struggles, or whatever we have, because that's only going to make us stronger. Nowadays, this generation coming up, there's so many young men that don't even know how to speak, that don't even know how to elaborate their thoughts, and that's scary. That's scary for a reason, because on the other end of the spectrum, we have women that are becoming more vocal, more and more open and understanding, and it's changing the dynamic of the way we live, because women are empowered to a point now that a lot of young men feel intimidated in order to talk to a girl. A lot of young men are intimidated to confront a female. And a lot of young men that are intimidated on approaching a female is because they didn't have the proper guidance of a father, of a male in their life to teach, to put them on game. So we can't, we're not going to be able to change the world in one day. But as long as we start admitting the problems that we have in society and speaking on them and reaching out, we will become better as a whole. We will have more positive people. We will build a bigger, stronger, healthier community. And at the end of the day, that's the goal. for us to have a strong, unified community where where we're thriving with people that are actually confident in themselves. Because why do we want to have a society with people that are insecure, people that have no direction or no light in their life? And in reality, that's what's taking over because the industry is leaning more and more and more to that. The industry is leaning more and more and more to that. Where if you look on this platform that we're on right now, if you look on YouTube and you know look at the generation coming up, the drill scene. And I'm one to say that, music is music, expression is expression. But when when it's being pushed and pushed onto a certain generation, you're gonna see the results because they're growing up. The next generation after them is growing up idolizing them and idolizing their way of living. And if you see a lot of these young boys and they're out here, glout with a stick and beams and this and this and that, a lot of young men believe that when they get to that level, they made it. When they got a scat pack, when they got a Hellcat, a Challenger Demon, whatever, and it's sad. It's sad. It's sad that niggas would need to see a AP on they wrist, a Cartier, a watch, or you know, to make them feel complete. When it was never about the material. When you're a real G, you make the material. The material don't make you. When you real and you possess that inside of you, and there's no cloth in the world that's gonna make you look better or worse. You could put anything on, any name brand, anything, and it's gonna look good because you confident in yourself and you wear it with a demeanor that nobody could tell you otherwise. But we being fooled nowadays to think that you need some of Mary Jeans. No, you need to have some. You need to have the new Louis V tennis shoes. You need to have this and like, come on, bro. A lot of these rappers that you guys looking up to that are wearing these shit, they don't even pay for it. 90% of the artists that you look up to that wearing all these name brand stuff and all this jewelry and all this shit that you working so hard to obtain, they don't even pay $1 for. Get that through your mind. When you start realizing that it's all a facade, it's a game plan. They designed it to be like that. If we got somebody that everybody is idolizing, let's say right now I'm the number one artist in the world, and I'm making the most off of streaming and and whatever it may be. Through this very platform right here, I'm gonna have people reaching out to me like, "Yo, listen, Real G, you know what you need? We see you on camera. We see you. You know what I mean? Your viewers going up. You need to be iced out. Let's get that on your neck so you look spectacular. You gleaming. But guess what? We just need you to shout us out. We need you to give us a little shout out. Oh, I got a person that's a clothing designer and they drip is crazy and a shirt costs $1,000 and the pants this is this. Guess what? They sending it to me for free. I'm putting it on and it wasn't worth $1,000 until the person put it on. Because now all the minions the way it was designed, all the followers, they're gonna start buying it and they're gonna pay what it's worth. But the leader never paid for nothing. Relax. So get that through your head. The leader is a leader that leads the ones that are in need of being led. Don't let yourself be led by a follower, or don't let yourself become a follower. And if you are a follower, be a follower of a great leader. Be a follower of a person that achieves stuff in life, a person that has something, like, because at the end of the day you are who you are around. If you're a person that chooses to keep company, I can look at your company and tell you who you are. But if you remain to be a solid individual and remain a leader, and you are firm in your beliefs, and there's nobody that alters your decisions or your way of thinking, excuse me, I lost my train of thought. But let's go back to that. Just think on what I said. And with that being said, I'll leave it off at that because I got too many distractions and I lost my train of thought. But you know, if there was a message inside this streaming that sparks something in your brain, or any piece of advice that you can clip and share, do it. Do it, because you don't know who's out there that needs to hear that. You don't know who's out there that's lost and just never really heard someone say it. So don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, clip the video, edit it, do what you got to do, but to get the message out. And choose to be real over everything. Choose God over everything, and we will see the results.